Let's see, line 4, Todd's with us out of Norman, Oklahoma. Hello, Todd. I'm glad you called Gun Talk.
Thanks, Tom. I wanted to start out by telling you how much I appreciate all you do to educate all us guys out here.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, I'm just having fun. We get
Yeah,
to talk
I
about
can tell.
guns.
I can tell. My question was about home defense shotguns. I recently purchased my first, and I, looking through the manual, it's got warning after warning after warning of store it here, store it there, put 1,000,000 locks on it and all that. So at night, normally I've got a 1911 in my dresser next to my bed. How would you have the 12-gauge handy? I mean, what do you recommend?
How understanding is your wife, and how big is your bed?
She's the one that said go buy it. So,
well, there's room between you there.
930 SPX Blackwater with the excess sights and.
Okay, that's weird because I am looking at that gun right now on their website. That's too weird that that's the one you got.
That's the one, and I was checking everywhere. All the wholesalers were out of it, and I actually had to get it from a local H&H here, but I love it. I mean, it's awesome, and it has everything I need. But, yeah, she's real understanding. As far as the bed, I mean, it's a king-size bed, if that's what you mean.
Well, yeah, just lay it right between the two of you. That way, no, okay, I'm not kidding. Okay.
No.
It's a great question, and it depends upon certain circumstances. First of all, are there children around in the house?
I have one 14-year-old daughter, and I've recently introduced her to shooting. She's kind of on the other side of the house, so, but she's not one that touches anything, and she doesn't have friends that come over and all that. So
sure. And yes, they're going to put warnings on there about lock it up, lock it up, lock it up. But if it's locked up, it doesn't make you safe.
Yep.
So my attitude is keep it some form or fashion close to you or where you can get to it pretty quickly. I would probably keep it loaded with the magazine loaded with the chamber empty, just because that would give me a warm and fuzzy. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel better that way. I would most certainly have a side saddle on it, so I would have ammo aligned on the stock itself, so I would have extra ammo. That's a given for any shotgun, frankly. And then you need a place where you can put it in the day when you're not at the house, where it's unloaded and put away. But frankly, in the evening, I would have that thing loaded and, in a corner or in a closet or someplace that I could get to pretty quickly if I had to.
Okay. And my second question was about defensive ammo. I got some of the Winchester home defense with the 1-ounce slug and the 3 double-aught, but then I was watching some of the videos on your great website, and one of the guys was talking about how Birdshot was good for home because it will not keep going.
Well, if you really want to start people on the Internet yakking and calling you an idiot, just say to use Birdshot, and they'll say, oh, that's stupid. I'll never watch your videos again.
Yeah,
okay. Have you ever shot anything at 5 feet? Now, I'm not talking 5 yards. I'm talking 5 feet with Birdshot. It will blow it up, sir.
Yeah.
So, again, if you're talking about shooting something at 15, 20 yards, no, Birdshot is not effective.
Yeah.
But at the distances of most rooms in most homes, it's a pretty good option if you're concerned, if you're especially concerned about penetration through walls. And this is one of those deals where there's no really perfect answer. Because if you ask me, what would you choose if you had to go to a gunfight, I'd want a radio in my hand, and I would call in an FA-18. And then I would make the problem go away. But that's a whole different issue, so we don't get to do that. So shotguns are great because you have the flexibility in ammo, which means that shotguns are terrible because now you have to choose which ammo, birdshot, buckshot, slug.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, for those who are wondering, I've done the test. Buckshot will penetrate 3 walls of 2 pieces of sheetrock in each wall and go outside of the home. So buckshot will keep on going. You may want to go with something like, who knows, number 5 shot, number 4 shot, Birdshot, but a little bit heavier. All right, it'll go through one wall, but when it gets through that wall, it's not going to be lethal on the other side.
Okay.
And then you got to understand, this is a very limited range proposition. We're talking 20 feet, okay? Call it 21 feet, 7 yards. If it's beyond that, this is not a lethal load. If it's inside that, it's absolutely stone cold lethal. And if you want to, anybody wants to challenge me on that, I just tell you, go to the range, take you a bunch of gallon water jugs, and start at, 6 inches off the muzzle. But I would suggest you wear a raincoat when you do that. And then just keep backing up and shooting these things. And what you're going to find is that somewhere in the 5 to 7 yard range, it may stop being as effective as you want, but inside of that, it's essentially one projectile, and it's a really big one.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
You got to tailor the load to your particular situation. I can't give you the ultimate, this is the absolute best answer, but I think maybe you've got it figured out at this point.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate the call. It is, as you can tell, it requires some thought. And those who say, well, this is the end-all be-all, this is the perfect answer, I kind of generally stop listening when somebody tells me this is the perfect answer, because it tells me they probably haven't thought it through enough, or they just don't have enough experience. They haven't been exposed to all the possibilities. That's when you get the whole, I never thought of that. Yes, I know. You never thought of that because you either don't have the training, don't have the experience, don't hang out with the right people. It's like every time I hang out with these guys who do this all the time, I learn stuff from them. And generally what I learn is, man, I don't know nearly enough about this. There are so many nuances to this. So is Birdshot a good answer for you? I love it. We put a video up about that. And people are just saying, oh, that's terrible. I will never watch your videos again. Okay, cool. You might want to go out to the range and try it, because that's what we do. We've shot rifles, shotguns, handguns through walls. We shoot all sorts of stuff with this stuff, up close and far back. We kind of find out what works. And if we tell you about it, it's what we have discovered through testing. All right, back with you, going straight to the phone. Line 3, Jim's with us in Palmer, Alaska. Hello, Jim. How doing?
Hey, Tom. First-time caller, and when I dialed you up this morning, I just basically wanted to tell you have a great show. You're very informative. I think it's really wonderful that there's somebody like you on the radio, getting all this good information out and keeping the gun talk alive. But when I was holding here, you were talking about shotguns and home defense and using Birdshot. Mm-hmm. I'm really kind of in a unique position here to reiterate what you were saying. I've handled over 10,000 bear skulls up here in Alaska in our business, and I've talked to hundreds, if not thousands, of people that have been out hunting, and I know of multiple accounts, including my own, where we've killed brown bears or black bears, grizzlies, whatever you want to call it, with birdshot at close range. And I hunted in Australia and shot a buffalo with a 700 Nitro Express, and I killed a grizzly with birdshot. And at close range, there's no difference. It's a really deadly round, just like you were saying. And I can attest to it.
What's close range? How close?
It was probably about 30 feet, and I don't remember if they were 5s or 6s, but it destroyed the whole side of his skull. And as far as hitting a human with it, I hope I never have to experience that. But I can assure you, at close range, it's like hitting with a 1,000 grain 700 Nitro Express round. It's one mass of lead, and it's just very destructive.
Now, when you say you've handled this many skulls, are you working at a taxidermist?
I've owned a shop for 28 years, and we specialize in that. And I've seen everything, everything you can imagine when it comes to brown bears and skulls. And being in the business, I'm around a lot of guides, and being a pilot, I'm out in the bush a lot. And It's pretty interesting, but it'll actually ruin the entire skull where it's not even repairable if it's real close.
So for those who say, "Oh, phooey, don't tell people to use Birdshot. That's not a good self-defense load," your experience says otherwise.
I can tell you something, Tom, and you probably realize this. There's a lot of people have a lot of theories that aren't tested, and a lot of people like to make stories up. But like I said, I can attest to it. In what you said is absolutely 100% true. Birdshot at close range, I'd say anything, I don't know over 30 feet, but I would not ever want to get hit with anything within 30 feet. It would just not be a good deal.
No, I appreciate that. And you're right, you need the experience or testing. And I appreciate that call, Jim. You know, the Alaska Fish and Game guys did some testing years ago, and they were doing same deal, testing, okay, what works. And people are saying what rifle, what shotgun, what handgun. And basically what they said was a .44 Magnum was barely adequate. And you really needed a rifle if you wanted to stop a bear, a rifle or a shotgun. And this was, I think, right as the .454 Casull was coming out. So that tells you it's 20-plus years ago, 25 years ago. But, yeah, God, there's so many Internet experts out there. Oh, yeah, well, I heard, my buddy, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, well, talk to people who've actually tried it. Talk to Jim, who's seen brown bear skulls. Brown bears, for heaven's sakes. He says a load of birdshot will absolutely stop a brown bear. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Jim's word for it. Go to the range. Take yourself out a dozen or 2 dozen gallon milk jugs and start shooting them, center punching them with your shotgun, close up, and keep walking back, and you'll figure out the distance where a load of 6s or 5s is not adequate, but it's going to surprise you how effective it is at distances a little bit further than you thought, and certainly distances that will work inside of almost any room in almost any house. It is an effective self-defense option.